Hello, I am Rebecca, and it's time for some yoga. Something for everybody today. Always welcome all of you. If you're feeling a little off, honor those feelings in the body. Even if you just lie on your back for half the time or the whole time, that still counts. But carving out time for you is the important piece and your well being. If you have a yoga mat, lay it out. If you don't have a yoga mat, it's all good. You could use a blanket, you could use a towel, just be on the floor, on the grass, on the ground. If you have other yoga props like yoga blocks and straps, have all that stuff handy and know that it's okay if you don't have any of those things. In coming classes, I will suggest to have like a towel if you don't have a strap, or have a tie or a belt. There's so many things, especially at home, that you can use instead of the yoga props. So let's start standing today. So you'll come to a stand, especially if you've been sitting all day. Good to get the legs opened up. And we start standing in mountain pose. So in yoga, it might just look like you're standing, but there are actually some details to pay attention to. It always starts in your feet. So as you set yourself up, look down at your feet, open up the toes. I always suggest sockless. If you have socks on, just make sure you can still wiggle your toes. And as you rock the weight a little forward and back in your feet, feel your heels, feel the balls of the feet, let your toes open up. And then scan up into your knees. Keep your knees softly bent. It might feel like you're squatting, and that's actually better than locking the knees out straight. So a little bend to the knees, and then put a hand on the low belly, a hand on your low back. And you may already know that you have a big curve in the low back, therefore a little tuck might feel helpful. Or maybe you feel like you are always dumping into the low back and tucking the tail, and in that case it might feel good to extend the tailbone a little bit backwards. We'll do more of that later. If you're familiar with cat-cow, it's essentially cat-cow, but you can take a few rocks of the pelvis, come right through to the middle for you, and then relaxing the arms, your palms face forward, shoulders roll up, back, and down. You lift up through your spine. Let the shoulders stay lightly drawn back. As you press down through your feet, inhale, lift your arms overhead. Connect your prayer hands. Exhale, prayer hands meet at your heart. Inhale, lift your prayer hands high. And exhale, open the arms wide and by your side. Keep the feet, keep the low body set. Inhale, lift your arms up. Connect your prayer hands. Exhale, prayer hands to heart. Feel a little push in the palms. Wake up the muscles of the arms. Take one more. Inhale up. And exhale, open the arms wide. Feel the air on your fingertips. This final cycle, lift the arms high. Feel the temperature of the air is combing through space. Connect your prayer hands. Exhaling prayer hands down to heart center. And I'll pause here. Push your hands together. Feel the muscles on the corners of the chest firing up here. Elbows can prop open. And then interlace all of your fingers. Relax the elbows. And then press your palms away from the body. And start to build a little cat back to the spine. Bend the knees a little extra. Press forward. Let your head bow down between the arms. As you stand up, press your palms up into the air. Press the belly just a little forward. Look up towards the ceiling. And relax the arms by your sides again. Big shoulder roll up, back, and down. If you have a yoga block, you can slide a yoga block in between the inner thighs. If you do not have one, remember it's totally okay. But if you have one, slide one in. If you do not have one, imagine you have something between the inner thighs that you're holding. Toes are pointing forward, not turned open, straight ahead. Bend your knees, send your tailbone back and down. It's a little chair. So you go back, you go down. You breathe. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale again, back and down with the hips. Push through the feet. Inhale, rise. One more. Exhale, hips back and down. So as your toes are pointing forward, weights in the heels, draw some energy up into the low belly. Inhale, rise up to stand. Turn your palms forward and exhale, squeeze the elbows open. Two more. Inhale, reach up, fingers open wide. Exhale, squeeze down. One more. Inhale, reach. Spread the fingers super wide. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bend the knees, pull your chest forward with a long spine. You're diving down to the toes. If you have a block in the legs, remove it. Hanging in your forward fold. I sometimes kid. I don't know how many times people have said, I can't do yoga because I can't touch my toes. The big secret is that, well, you don't have to touch your toes. But the next big secret is that by bending your knees, the toes are a lot closer to the fingers. No one says you can't bend your knees. And by bending your knees, you actually stretch into your low back a little more. The hamstring length will come. It's more important, in my opinion, in my practice and what I've seen through the years, to get into your lower back, keeping your knees bent. And as you lengthen the legs a little bit at a time, you'll feel your hamstrings. I'll bend your knees a lot. Look forward, push down through the heels, take your arms out wide. You rise up to stand. It's a reverse swan dive, arms overhead, and then relax the arms back by the sides. Roll the shoulders out. So you're going to step your feet hip distance or even a little bit wider. So a nice wide base. Bend the knees a little bit. Feel like you're in your legs. Stand up tall and then start to twist to the right. Let your hands slightly float around. Come to center and let your hands twist to the left. So real easy. Keep the knees bent, so that'll keep your knees, your hips a little more forward. And you rotate side to side. Keep your head high. Just a little spin to the right. A little spin to the left. Side to side. As you take one more, a little spin to the right. Spin to the left. Come through to center. Pause. Just feel a little extra movement in the body. Feel the breath. Feel the breath in the belly. Let out a sigh. As you step the feet back hip distance apart and tuck your chin to your chest and begin to slowly roll down. Let your fingers slide down towards the toes. Remember, you can bend your knees. As you hang upside down, hang the head, hang the arms. You'll make your way all the way down to the mat. So fingertips come down, however you need to get there, especially in the comfort of your home. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Go by feeling. What does all this feel like? So as you come into a tabletop, fingers are open wide. Knees are right underneath your hips. And push your palms into the ground. Squeeze the belly up. And feel some core control here. Good core control, helping to protect the back. Now reach your left leg straight back. Play with not letting anything else move. Can you just move your left leg back? The weight might shift a little, but feel stable here. Rotate your left ankle a couple circles. Wiggle the toes. Bend your left knee a couple times. Keep the weight even in your two arms and your right leg. The right leg actually has to work a little here to help hold you up. And then simply put your left knee down and switch. Remember, don't move. Just stretch your right leg back. Only the right leg moves. And move your toes, move your ankle. Start to bend the right knee and straighten the right leg. Bend and straighten. And then lowering the right knee back down. Rest into child's pose. So toes could come together. You can widen the knees a little bit. Arms can be forward or back. And just resting your head on your hands. Taking some deep breaths into your low back. You bring yourself up towards your tabletop, planting the palms again. I'll encourage you to come onto your fingertips here. If you can prop up onto the fingertips, kind of like a little tent. And so you're up on the fingertips, so your wrists are not touching down. This is a great way to not only save your wrists, but also build some awareness in the fingertip grip, which will help you not just in your yoga, but in many points in time. So if you're up on the fingertips, now roll the shoulders back, let your belly hang, lift your chest for cow. Push down through your fingertips, squeeze the belly in, start to arch the back through cat back. Little tuck of the tail, hollowing out, chin towards chest. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the sitting bones, lift the heart. Exhale, press down, coil the spine, squeeze through the belly. Take one more. If you can stay up on the fingertips, even out the weight between all 10. Come back to your cat back, tucking the tail. Now plant your palms flat if you haven't yet. And feel an extra, I just call it potency. There's a little extra potency to the fingertips. We're going to claw a little bit with the hands. Now as you stretch your legs straight back behind you, You could lift the knees up for a plank. You could stretch the legs back and immediately lower the knees for a plank. Okay, and feel how tabletop is close to plank. Plank is when you'll draw the hips just a little under and forward. The low belly draws a little bit under and in. So you feel more abdominal here. Now check your head. If the head just wants to drop, it might. Look several feet forward. Feel the back of your neck have to work. Just hold nice and strong. Feel your right arm, feel your left arm. Rest back into child's pose, hips to heels. Keep your arms forward. Relax the fingers in the grip. Take a deep breath into your back, your sides, and go with what feels comfortable. You can definitely stay here. It's another place you could be for half the time, the whole time. If you want to take downward facing dog, bring yourself back up to a plank. It's a good place to start, and then lift your hips up and back. So in downward facing dog, you might need to bend walk the hands in or the feet in. Do bend your knees a lot here. And as you bend your knees, you'll feel your chest able to go a little closer to your thighs. So you bend the knees and you push your chest to the legs. Your heels never ever need to touch. So also a little myth to dispel here. Your heels do not need to touch in down dog, but you can press through the backs of the heels, get a little stretch in the calves. As you come back forward to your plank from wherever you are, gently lower the knees and rest again into child's pose. In this child's pose, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Take a breath through your left side. And walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Taking a breath through the right side. As you walk your hands back through to center, rising up, step both feet to the top of your mat. Right foot, left foot. Come into a forward fold. Toes pointing forward. Bend the knees. Sit back into your chair pose. Back and down. Now bring your hands to meet at your heart. Now, feet can be hip distance or together. And as your hands, prayer hands, meet at your heart center, feel the heart, the thumbs lined up. Lift the elbows just a little bit so as you push into your hands, you can feel the chest again. So just get a little squeeze going in the upper body. Hips are going back and down. You'll breathe in. And as you exhale, twist to your right. Let your left elbow move towards your right thigh. They may or may not connect. Just feel a little turn. Come to center, stay in your legs, push your hands together, squeeze through the belly, and then twist to your left. Right elbow moves towards the left thigh. Come back through to center, pause, and then come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms high, stretch open, then come back to chair, prayer hands at your heart again. Do one more cycle. Feel the inhale, lift your chest towards your thumbs, navel in, exhale, rotate to your right, left elbow towards right thigh. Push through the feet, inhale, rise through center. And exhale, rotate to your left, right elbow to left thigh. Turn your heart to the thumbs. Inhale, rise up to stand. And exhale, relaxing the arms by your sides. Big shoulder roll up, back, and down. Feet are hip distance apart. Toes are pointing forward. You're back in your mountain pose where you started. Palms face straight ahead. Transfer the weight into your right foot and come onto your left tippy toes. And keeping the left tippy toes down, just start to turn your left knee in and out. Open and close. Open and close. So as you feel a little turn in the left hip, now keep the left hip open. Notice if you've locked your right knee out. So you're going to keep the right knee soft and then letting the right hip stay a little hugged in. So if you feel like you're sassing your hip out to the right, squeeze it in. And then your right foot might go to your ankle or calf, your left foot on the right leg, or all the way up. You do not need to go all the way up, but knowing that you go below or above your knee, not on your knee. As you push everything in, draw in through the belly. Let your hands come to either heart center. Arms can move out or up. For tree pose, like no two trees are the same, not a single two. So it's okay if your arms look a little different. And as you bring your left knee back forward, lightly put your left foot on the floor and transfer the weight into the left leg. So open the left toes up, press down to the foot, pull the shoulders back, just a little bend of that left knee. For now, just prop onto your right toes and start to open and close your right hip. So great strengthener for the hip and also a little flexibility as you might be feeling, inner and outer hip. As you open your right knee, right hip to the side, pause. You can stay here or start to put the right sole of your foot somewhere along the left leg. Avoid the knee. If you feel like you're leaning left, hug the left hip in, Draw the belly in, stretch up through the crown of the head. Arms can be down, out, or up. Breathe. Bringing the right knee forward, placing the right foot down. And just wiggle around a little, let your hips move. Maybe circle the hips. Like dance like no one's watching kind of thing. Just move, groove. Shake anything out. Shaking's really nice. If you're feeling a little stuck, shake the legs, shake the hands. And then you'll come back through to center. It's good for the nervous system, like discharge, like animals. Just shake it off. Shake it off. The toes are forward. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, come down to the toes, forward fold. Now glide your fingertips to the shins. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head hang, let your arms hang. Now bend your knees just a little bit. Plant your palms, step back to your plank, knees up or knees down. Hold on to plank, let your eyes be a little forward. Then you can rest, or if you'd like a little upper body today, knees tap down first, squeeze your elbows in. You breathe in as you hover in this plank, and then slowly bend the elbows, exhaling to the belly. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift your chest for cobra. Exhale, lower the nose down. Take a big push back to either child's pose or down dog. Take a deep breath where you are. You can either take down dog or take tabletop. So you'll learn that that's always an option that I give. So you can stay here in table. You could come up into down dog for a little more action. I'll demonstrate table today, but you could be in your down dog. Lift your right leg off the floor, 3-leg. Bend your right knee, and then take a little hip circle, half circle for the right side. Keep your arms straight and strong, just a little movement. And then as you hold your right leg straight back in 3-leg, breathe in. And exhale, knee to nose. Round the spine, squeeze the belly in, and lightly step the right foot between your hands. Get the ankle under the knee, and as you lift your back left knee, turn your left toes open about 90 degrees. So your left toes are turning to the left edge of your mat. Bend your right knee straight ahead. Put your hands on your hips and turn them to the left. Notice if your right knee tries to come with you. That's pretty normal, and it's all right to then press your right knee back to the right. You actually want to do that. So you're going to work the right hip in Warrior 2. Arms may stretch out wide. So in Warrior 2, maintain a bend to the left knee. Check that you're to your right knee and make sure that your left toes are not going to slide towards the back of your mat. So you're going to keep them at that 90 degree or even a little more in, pigeon-toed. Now let your arms feel lazy for a moment. Feel like they could just hang or limp. And then energize your arms. Stretch from front to back. Like reach out of your body. You might even overdo it for a split second. And then feel somewhere in between, feeling really kind of limp and lazy and overdoing it. Find that happy medium right there in the center. Deepen the bend in the right knee. Reach forward. Lightly tap your right forearm towards your right thigh. Left arm up or bicep by ear. Side angle. Open your arms back, Warrior 2. Stay in your legs and stretch your right arm up. And the left hand goes down the back left leg, reverse warrior. Breathe into the right side. Your legs have remained. You're going to come back to center. Straighten your front right leg out. Turn your right toes in. So now you're facing the long edge of your mat. And then wiggle the feet a little closer so toes can turn out, heels can turn in. Put your hands on your hips and squat into this wide squat. As you send your tailbone back and down, press through the heels, open through the toes. And then either keep the hands or open the arms. And have that same feeling of, are my arms lazy here? Are they overreaching? And can I be somewhere right in the middle? Send your tailbone back and down. Right, so from a side view, you're going backwards and down, backwards and down. Inhale, stretch all the way up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, bend the knees, open the arms, going back and down with the hips. Take it one more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, go back and down with the hips. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Turn to your front right foot. Exhale, left foot steps forward, top of mat. Mountain pose, shake it out. So we'll do things differently on this leg. Keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot really far back. And then turn your right toes open 90 degrees. Warrior 2 on this side. You'll bend into the left knee. Hands on hips. Turn your hips to the right. Feel how the left knee is probably going to follow you there. And then press your left knee back to the left. Keep both feet plugged down evenly as you open your arms. Now you're in warrior two, left side. Okay, so ankles under knee on the left leg. Make sure your right foot's not going to slide open. So you might turn it in just slightly. Keep the press down through your heels, opening through your hips, and just that right amount of reach and relax in the arms. Draw in through the belly. Reach forward and tap your left forearm, left thigh. Right arm up, bicep by ear, if you want to go there. Strong feet, push through the ground, squeeze to the belly, rise back up. Take your left arm into the air, the right hand down the back right leg. Breathe through your left side ribs. You can let out some sound, some breath. Now come back into your warrior two. Lengthen the legs. Safely turn to your front left foot. Take a giant step, right foot to the top of your mat. Couple little steps, and you're back in your mountain pose. Feel everything loosen up, wiggle around, and here you are. So you can keep your feet hip distance. You can also bring the big toes to touch. Lift your heels. This could be enough, just a little releve balance. If you'd like to add balancing chair, the heels come up, and then you sit back and down into your chair. Now listen to the knees. The knees are going to come a little forward here. Make sure that it doesn't feel like too much pressure. You can be up. You can get a little lower. You can always lower your heels and relift the heels, balancing chair. Muscles of the thighs working a little differently when the heels are lifted. Heels come down. Inhale, big stretch to the sky. And exhale, dive down to the toes, forward fold. Slide the fingertips to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, peek forward. Exhale to fold. As you plant your palms, step back into a plank. Rest if you'd like to rest. Knees up or down. If you're holding your plank, you could stay or move through the chaturanga. Bend the elbows slowly. Inhale, open through a cobra or an up dog. Big push away, down dog or child's pose. Meet yourself right where you need to be in this moment. Take a couple deep breaths. And whether you come into, last time, either table or down dog. So I'll show table. You could be up in a down dog for a little bit more. Check that your fingertips are clawing. Your left leg reaches straight back. Bend your left knee, open the left hip, and take any hip movement, little half circle or full circle. Stretch your left leg straight back. Inhale, three leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Take two more. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine. Look at your knee, left knee. Take one more. Inhale back, arms are strong. Exhale, knee to nose. Let the left leg stretch long, down dog or table, and then rest back down. Lower yourself to have a seat. As you spin around, have a seat and take the feet out in front of you. So you're going to wiggle the sitting bones back and behind. Let the soles of your feet touch lightly in and together. So you can hold on to the fronts of the ankles, shins, push the feet in, relax the knees apart, rock a little side to side. As you lift your heart up, you can stay right here. So the feet can be closer to you, farther away from you. You're welcome to bow down, letting your chest move towards your feet. If this does not feel good in any way, don't do it. You can come down to your back. We're going to head there next. Draw on through your belly, start to rise up. You let your hands fold in, the knees come together. And as you come down towards your back, you can either lower down inch by inch, and we do this every session, whether you know how many ways you can lower to your back. You can hover down, draw the tummy in, just gently roll down. If you have a different way you need to get there how you get there. Once you make your way to the floor, rest your head. Let your feet come out as wide as your mat. Stretch your arms open wide, shoulder height, and rock the knees side to side. So easy twisting. Should feel pretty doable for your body. Now, if you have a different twist that you like, is safe in your body, then you're welcome to add that in. Otherwise, just stay with this easy wide foot, side to side massage. A little movement for the low spine. You slow it down a little bit. And as we near the end here today, some floor time, maybe this is what you've been waiting for, and you can always add on some extra minutes. As you either keep rocking or pull yourself to center, if you'd like to hug the knees to your chest to stretch your low back, if there's another way to shape the legs that feels good. And depending on the time of day that you're adding this yoga in, this could be a practice to energize you. It could be a practice to calm you down. And feeling how it's really in your intention. Now, there are certain postures and ways of breathing that will do one or the other. But overall, yoga is always going to bring you more home to the nervous system. It's going to bring you more into the body. And then you get to choose whether you want to crank it up and get ready for the day or wind down from the day. So as you are here on the floor, just paying attention to what you actually need in this moment, what's coming up for you that you may know of. If you would like to add a little bit of energy, planting the feet for bridge pose, one last posture, arms by the sides. Knowing that bridge can energize you and at a deep level. So if this is right before bed, you might skip bridge pose for now. But for bridge, your head, your feet are down. You lift up and you walk the shoulders just a little underneath the body. You open up your toes, press through the heels. Keep plugging the shoulders more into the floor. Press the feet down and forward. Lift your hips just a little higher. Take a full breath into the belly. As you come down, just come down slowly. Just feeling into anything else after that you might like, whether it's just to land, whether you need to take one last hug of knees to chest or let your legs stretch open. And you move into final relaxation or shavasana. So you are stretched out on your back. If there's a part of this that is not comfortable for the body, make it comfortable, whether you need to bend your knees. You can roll onto a side. You could even sit in a chair, lie on the couch if you'd rather. But taking some time to let everything decompress. Let the energy you activated in the yoga postures to still be there, but feel more integrated. The effort is done. And today I'll leave you here in Shavasana. So as you get comfortable, making a note if you know that there is a timeline you have on this time. Maybe counting 10 deep breaths or so as soon as I fade away and letting that be enough. If you have nothing coming up and you can just be, maybe you doze off. Could that be a luxurious option, especially if there's a part of you going, oh, I couldn't do that? What if you could? If you're the type that would like to set a timer, maybe find a timer and come back down, rest. We'll connect to the breath, eyes open or close the eyes and feel this overall exhale through the whole body. Breathe in. And exhale. Let it all fade away. So as mentioned, either stay here for 10 more breaths. You can count the breaths. I'll give you some parameters, or let yourself just stay, relax, or set a timer if you need to. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Thank yourself for taking this time for yourself. Take as long as you need. We'll see you next time. Namaste.